to stop asking questions. We need to organize the students into several learning groups, which I normally do, make them into groups, and make this learning segments manageable through your skills as a teacher. Then we can guide them, facilitate them, challenge them, and even support them. So we can say that the teachers who are making a transformational teaching, they are actually enriching the students on the perspective of content by giving their rich experiences. See, let me give you a very good example here with my own experience. When I share my example with my students, they are more interested in listening to me rather than giving some book information. When I enter the class and I talk about my experience when I was a student, when the tables were turned, probably when I was sitting there, how did I expect my teacher to be? Like, for example, I had a history teacher in whose lecture I always used to sleep. I always tell this to my students. It is quite normal with any students also to fall asleep. It's not wrong that if you don't like a lecture, you might fall asleep. But then in my maths lecture, I was always awake because I loved the technique in which my maths teacher used to teach. So she brilliantly used to take out certain, songs on the spot to memorize the trigonometries. For example, some people have curly brown hair turned permanently black. So this sentence makes me remember all the sine cos theta. We have some people sine theta. People have Some people have perpendicular upon hypotenuse. Some people have curly black hair. Curly is cos theta. So then black hair is base and hair is hypotenuse. So, this is the way in which my maths teacher used to sing a song and then make me remember. So in her lecture, every lecture, I used to be awake. Probably my history teacher, not to mention that she was not that intelligent. Of course, academically, she was very profound and vast with her knowledge. But somehow, probably there was a connection gap. Maybe the techniques which was being used did not attract me. So when I start a lecture with my students, giving my experience, my students are very much interested. Or probably when I'm explaining an English lecture, especially in the colleges when I take the lecture. So I just start because the students in the colleges are always in the verge of bunking the class. They're allowed to do that in 11th and 12th. And so they are like when they will run off from the next lecture and they are planning. So in that way, I have to give my lesson. I have to finish explaining. So what do? In between, I bring in my stories from my college days. So I just tell them, let me tell you, when I was a college girl, what I used to do on those benches there. Then the students like, yes, ma'am, what you used to do, please tell. So they wanted to listen. So then I said, okay, let me tell you by reading this chapter first, what William Blake has to say about in the poem. So in that way, they are interested because they know next moment I'll tell them about my college experience as a college girl. So they are interested to listen. So you can use any techniques, which is spellbounding. Of course, you need little interest. The students will always attend your lecture because they want to listen to all your college life stories. They don't
Definitely.
want to listen. They don't want to listen to you what you're teaching. But in the long run, you are teaching them because they are
Definitely.
awake. They are awake in the class. They are
Hmm.
awake to listen to more interesting things, which interests their activity based. And in the long run, they are understanding the chapter also. And when they go out, they say that, yeah, this was an interesting chapter. So next lecture also English, we will be present. So the attendance is there. We have 150 students in a class for the college lectures. And we have a mic. Sometimes we don't get a mic also. So 150 students to communicate with them and to make them focus on the topic which I'm teaching, whether it's Blake or whether it's Shakespeare, whomever I'm teaching, bringing them from their dens up to the students So it needs a lot of patience. So, and if you can tell them in a way you can enact it in the class, so they really love it. The way you draw the map of India just at one hand stretch and finish it off, the students start clapping. When I explain Merchant of Venice in the class, the students, I don't understand, suddenly they start clapping once I finish with the explanation. So probably the dialogues of Shylock and Antonio and Bassanio was something which the students could relate. The story of Portia and Bassanio was very close. Probably they were imagining one in that love story and which went far off. And you can delve them into with your techniques and skills. That is what I wanted to say here. Basically, in your techniques, the teacher communication skills which we are using, this we need to transform our instruction. Whether teach like the scientist or the artist or essays, take anything, whatever you want to say, any topic. I'm talking of English, being a language teacher myself, whether I'm teaching the postgrads or the higher secondaries. I normally use this technique because a child's brain is there in its place for probably half an hour, 15 to 20 minutes maximum. Then they just split off. So in that 15 to 20 minutes, you need to capture and give them what they want. So basically, to be effective in advancing and being a teacher to many of us, we need to have the symphonic thinking, which we called in the technical terms. So we will have the symphonic thinking skills. If you just you'll find out what are the skills, which I am speaking about here right now. First is the logical connections between the ideas. Give them the logical reasoning and the thinking. Identify, construct, and evaluate more arguments from them. Detect the inconsistency and the common mistakes which the students do. When it is not required, you ask that question and you break that connect between that. So if you can bring it out and you can develop this symphonic thinking skills in the students, then you are a transformational teacher who is ready to go to any heights to bring about the change. Then you need to reflect on the justification which each speaker gives. And of course, nobody will be saying that the whatever you're teaching was really very easy. It will be difficult for them at the initial stage. But when the teachers are going deep into it, giving some facts from the daily life, then obviously it will become a productive struggle for them. So this is quite needed right now when we talk about creating conditions that we need to have the potential transformation of the learner on different levels. The cognitive, of course, I spoke about, the emotional, social, the intuitive, the creative, the spiritual. Obviously, all this together needs to be aroused in a child's mind. We cannot think that I have to finish the portion. Of course, that is a great target for all the educators because the curriculum is such. But now the NEP has framed a curriculum which will give the educators a fluency, or you can say a complete freedom to delve into the topic more and explore that and give our students the best which they want, which they are looking out for, the teaching equipment skills and the transformation. So basically, we need to foster the student relationship. A student should like you as a role model as soon as you enter the class. Then your equipping skills have become completely effective. And then you can call yourself a transformational teacher. Otherwise, what's the use of being a teacher without having all these technicalities? So it is very, very important that you can come forward and start thinking about it. And also, of course, I would say embrace the change, never go away from it. And you should be ready to experience a vast new diverge knowledge of the students. They are the ones who have lot of knowledge, and they are the ones who can bring you, give you lot of knowledge, increase your knowledge also. Because of them, you will delve into other mediums and search their answers. And next day, you'll come prepared, which somehow the educators, knowingly or unknowingly, have forgot, are they are just trying to turn the pages. They just come to school or college, attend the lecture without getting prepared because they know the topic. They have been teaching for years together. So they need not prepare that. They directly come to the class. Today, which topic is there? Children tell which topic has to be spoken, and they are impromptu ready. All the teachers are very much equipped. But right now, students are also ready. So you need to come little prepared, search the Google platform. Sometimes I do get certain questions because related to politics, I'm really not interested. Sonal ma'am, to say the truth, I want to share with my audience also. Politics doesn't interest me. But when my students go deeper into the politics and asks me some questions, so I just tell them very, very comfortably without giving a wrong answer or making them shut their mouth. I just tell them that, see, this topic is really not my cup of tea. But if you really want me to answer that, I'll surely tell you tomorrow once I go and look it up. See, you should never be ashamed to say or to accept it in front of the students or
Păi
probably
11 în
give
7
them.
nu se cuprinde. Aoleu, Bianca, nu suntem în stare să facem 11 în 7 nu merge.
Yeah, so there was some noise this thing. Anyway, so we should never be ashamed in front of our students. We should be able to accept it. So that is where the students' relationship increases. They know that your teacher will find out the answer, whatever you tell them, whatever questions you ask me. So you will get an answer, whether it's just now or next day. Your answer will be there. So you need to develop on this transformational skills. First of all, transform your brain. Accept the change, which I say. So thank you very much for listening to me. And I'm really waiting to listen to more such educators speaking on this skill which the teachers really needs to develop. So over to you, Sonal ma'am.
I think this was a total complete splashing of colors, riot of colors on the different aspects of everything. And just 3-4 questions I would like to ask you, Rachna ma'am, if you will give me the permission to ask you. So
surely.
Yeah,
Except politics, anything I can take.
No, definitely. Even I'm not that kind of a person. I'm a very different person. Though I would like to suggest, Sean, what do you think is lacking in teacher equipment skills so that children, we are talking about 21st century skills, but do you think that teachers are actually implementing them so that they transmit those skills to the children? Where do you think the learning gap is there?
Yes, there is a big gap. First of all, I told first point, it's in the mind. The teachers, they have used their old methods and old techniques of teaching and which they feel was very approachable and the students liked it. So they don't want to change it. No, we will go it in this way. For example, the LOs are right now very, very important. Whenever we make a study book, whenever we are planning out our studies, teachers don't plan it out in a proper way. They don't
Definitely.
write it down. So they just scribble because they have to submit it probably to their principal. They have to submit their logbooks. The logbooks are not maintained. Teacher needs to maintain that. What is the reason for that logbook? So the missing mark is the preparation part. Teachers think being a teacher myself, I too sometimes take it for granted and I go to the class without looking into the chapter. So then there comes this problem. So basically, we need to always prepare, whether you know it or not. Now, being an MA in English literature and knowing all the other topics of it, it doesn't make much of difference. I think I'll be able to speak. But then, without preparing and going and speaking, that is where is the gap. We need to prepare, and of course, the technology. You need to serve, find out what about more is coming up about William Blake. I'm talking about my subject. So we need to search also in the backdrop that which are the criticism going on, because a lot of research papers have been submitted. In the few years to come, which we as educators have failed to see, go back and see to it. So there are a lot of versions of Shakespeare's opinion, the criticism which has come in. The English critics are more increasing. For example, figures of speech have increased. They were initially 18, then it went to 22, now 52, and even more figures of speech. But now the teachers will tell, surprisingly, is it 52? They don't even know. So it's because that they are not using that skill, Sonal ma'am. So that's the gap which a
Yeah.
teacher should know, and they should be ready to take that change. They should not say that I know my subject, मुझे
Very
मेरे
well.
subject आते हैं. So it should not be that. No one is telling you that you don't know your subject. You know your subject. That is why you are a teacher. Otherwise, you couldn't have been a teacher. But now comes to prepare yourself and go for the lectures. You don't even see what is the LO of that subject, and you go to the class. So when I take some, other workshops for the teachers, also in different schools, I'm invited to give for the teachers. So there, when I ask the teachers, what have you written in the logbook? They just say completed this, it pending this. So that's not a logbook. Now come on, a logbook means what? You need to write everything proper. So we need to work on that because the teachers have been going, they know the subject, tell them to talk about a subject, they will keep on talking. But they need to prepare. That's the gap which we are facing. No preparedness. The mindset is such they are not ready to take the change. And of course, technology should be implemented. If probably you are taking it open minded and getting some, regular technology, everyone knows. Google searching, I don't think being a teacher, everyone can do that. It's not wastage of time. Probably you will know many more things. Because sometimes I hear teachers telling, ma'am, that's wastage of time. We have to finish our portion. We have so many students who are so naughty. And how do we do that? So these questions, I'm always bursted with all these questions when I take the sessions with the teachers. So I just tell them that, see, this will increase your knowledge. You want to be
Knowledge. Yeah.
in profession for a longer period of time, then you really need to brush up your knowledge. Go to the social medias and search for your topic, whatever is it. Add it on to your knowledge. So this will really help. So it's not
So
not
yeah. So and you spoke about this symphonic skills. The first part, that is logical reasoning. So in our times of education with the teacher's skills and in today's trend, what do you think is missing and what was there that time and what is not there now and what is there now was not there? Where do you think that there has to be a balance in between? How do you think that?
Yes, of course. Yeah, of course, we loved our teachers very much when it was there. I told you, my maths teacher used to make poems, rap songs, and teach me at that time when I was a student, before 10th standard. So, teachers at that time also were brilliant. They were trying their techniques, whatever they had with them, with their equipments, they used to make it very interesting. But what is missing right now is the connection,
Definitely. That is
bonding
what
of
I'm saying.
teacher and the student. That is missing.
That
Teacher
is
always
missing.
takes it as a profession. They come to the class, teach the students, and walk out, portion done. Today's lesson done. So they have become very mechanical. That relation which we had with our teachers, just imagine when a teacher used to tell, just get me a glass of water, we used to fight who will go and bring that glass of water. But do you see that relation right now with your students? They would, if they are running also, they would run to meet somebody outside who is waiting, not to bring that glass of water for you. So that relationship is little bit slowing down. And as a
Okay.
result, they don't feel that interest. We need to again arouse ourselves. Go to the class with that intention, not of making them friends. No teacher and student can become friends. Let me tell you, those who are thinking I'll make my students friends, absolutely wrong. Students cannot be your friend, but at least you can create a friendly atmosphere. That is
Definitely.
required, wherein a child will feel free to speak up and they will turn up to you always as the best mentor. But if you are always the Hitler in the class, always come on, sit down, no questions in between. So I'll not accept any question. Then obviously that is missing. So this in the older times, I
It
think should
yeah, I think this applies to even parents and children, because sometimes when parents when children say, you always used to tell me that parents are your friends and now you're behaving like a parent, and at the same time it applies to the students in the class. Yeah, ma'am, you only told us though that I'm just a friend like you, and now when we treating you like a friend, you don't behave like a friend. But I think there has to be a balance made by the teacher and a parent both, to create a line of control. Lakshman Rekha banani padegi, because they cross the line of control sometimes, and sometimes it becomes very difficult for the teacher to explain to the child the the right methods and everything. So I think, because I think I remember when we were small, the parents and the teachers, when they used to take us for swimming or something, we were very scared with water. But वो
yes,
पानी का डर हटाने के लिए, because we will get drowned or something, they literally used to push us up. Jao, now you have to learn the swimming. So this is what teachers of today have to implement the same strategy in a very cordial way. Like you have said, you have to have a connection. That connection is missing.
connection is
You want the
missing.
child, yeah, you want the child to be a super achiever. You want the child to be good mannered also. You want the child to be कि आपका नाम रोशन होना चाहिए कि ये टीचर के क्लास का बच्चा है तो, but you are not creating that connection bond so that you get the tag of it. That connection is actually really missing, and that
Yes,
has to be implemented.
need to develop
So
that bond which is
effort.
missing now. Because when a child is going to the stage, they are frightened to speak. Let me share another experience since you took up this topic. Going with my daughter only. My daughter never wants to speak in any open podium or any. So we need that backing. She is there in the school, in the college, but constant backing is needed. But when she goes there on this podium, she is the winner, whether it's inter-school, whether it's any other thing. Similarly, I try it out with the students also, that they sometimes tell, no, ma'am, it's not possible. I won't be able to speak. I said, why? You can speak with me very nicely. Why can't you do it on the stage? So you should take up, say, for 1 minute. No need for awards, no need for prizes, but just come out and speak.
Come
So
on.
it's very, but that backing is necessary. We
Mm.
cannot say that, we cannot wait and think, give them the task and say that you do it. They will not be able to do. You cannot leave them and come back only for the results. You need to be always with them. That bonding should be created. We
Mm.
need to create that relationship. If you are not able to create that relationship, then somewhere it is breaking out. So
And
I
you spoke
believe,
about, and I think you spoke about the logbook also. So if all the teachers started thinking that this is not a logbook, this is my transformational book, from where I started to turning the pages of each and every mistake and learning from the mistake, and that is transformation, I will say, rather than just thinking that mera logbook hai, so you won't see the transformation. You make it a transformation book. Rather, cut the name of the logbook, make it your transformation book. So I think you have wonderfully put out each and every aspect of what needs to be done, the connection, the symphonic skills, the bonding, and this is actually missing apart from academics. So hats off to you. Thank you so much. And privileged to have your little nuggets of teacher equipping skills and all. I proceed forward to my next speaker. That is, I think, Laura Sancia, ma'am. Uh, Blessed to have you, ma'am. Please take the screen. Yeah.
Hello, everyone.
Good evening, ma'am.
Greetings. Good evening. I'm Laura Sancho from Romania. And first of all, I wish to thank IDYM for this great opportunity to be here and to talk about such an important topic for me. Um, the teaching skills that are essential for being effective educators. I believe that there's a recipe for being a good teacher, a very simple one, and at the same time, a very complex one. Because teachers are special people, they are like superheroes because they have the power to influence the younger generations. They are building the future of the world. They are making a difference in young people's lives. And We are educating what could be the future leaders. We have the power to change the world one child at a time. And teaching skills are those capabilities that enable us to contribute to the student's success, because this is what we need to have in mind. We should treat each of our students as if they will have an essential role in the history of this planet. We need to believe that all of our students are special, that they will have a role, and they have to be empowered and motivated to do their best. We need to build these special skills at every step of the teaching process. And from creating the lesson plans and then to coming in front of the students and presenting the lessons, um, giving them the knowledge that they need, and of course, doing everything else that we need to do as part of our job. The teaching skills are like the parts of the computers. We need soft skills. We need the knowledge that we need lots of knowledge to face all the challenges, all the um, difficulties that may arise, and also um, to to make the learning process effective. We need to keep our learners engaged. We need to make them believe in themselves and have the motivation to reach to achieve academic success. Um, we need to make the learners happy. We need to create environments for them where they feel safe, where they feel empowered and motivated. And we need to give them the right tools for them to achieve success, because our ultimate goals are to give them knowledge that they can put into action. We need to sharpen their critical reasoning skills. We need to make them understand and to engage them in the learning process in an active way and meaningful way for them. We need to show them that the learning process is one that influences their future. So we need to give them reasons to, uh, as I said, to be actively engaged in the learning process. So why are we learning? Uh, for the future, for a job, to develop our creativity. Everything um, should be there to tell the students what their purpose is for learning. I believe that one of the most important skills for a teacher is the communication skill. We need to ensure that the students understand what is being taught, and we need to adapt our communication to the level of students, to their learning abilities, to their age, to all those factors that might influence the message which is transmitted to them. Because communication enables the teacher to transfer information to a learner and communicate with them, and also with the parents, with the colleagues, with the school community. We need to be active listeners. We need to open our ears, mind, and hearts, because students don't always communicate with words. We need to watch the way they respond to the knowledge we give them. Maybe some students are finding it difficult to understand the content. That's why we need to always adapt, to be flexible, to be able to adapt the teaching process in order to make um, even the slowest pupil in the class understand the lesson and use that knowledge be able to use that knowledge, respond to that lesson. We need to make our communications clear and to, as I said, to adapt it to all the classes and all types of learners. Sometimes learners have different ways of receiving the message. We have visual learners, we have auditory learners, we have kinesthetic. So each type of learner is unique. That is why we need to adapt our teaching materials. So we need strong written and verbal communication skills, but also we need to use various forms of communication and to vary our exercises in order to keep students engaged and interested in what we are teaching. One more skill that I believe is very important, and it is like the ingredient that makes the recipe the best of all, is creativity. Because people learn best when they are doing something fun and interesting. And it's up to the teacher to be creative and to find new and innovative ways for the students to learn. If the students enjoy the teaching process, they will be more engaged and they will learn with passion, and they will, of course, remember the information a lot better. In my classes, I like to use theater, for example, to make students become the characters that they read about in novels or any bits of literature that we talk about. For example, one exercise would be, so I want to get the students fully engaged in what they are reading, to become more than just readers of that particular thing, to become friends with that text. For example, they can choose according to their abilities, because we must value what they can do best. According to their abilities, they can choose how to respond to text. For example, they can pretend to be one of the characters and write a letter describing the actions in that particular piece of writing. If they are talented at drawing, they can represent their favorite scene in the book, or they can just draw the setting for a particular part of the novel that they really liked. We need to challenge them and invite them to use their imagination. If they are not skilled with these things, I can ask them to find a song that would be suitable for that piece of literature, for that story. They would, in that way, they would have to read that story, they would have to understand it, and give reasons why a certain song or maybe a painting or anything else read. So why that particular song or painting relates to that story, inspires them about that story. For example, when we um, learned about Shakespeare or other poets, we sometimes tried to imitate the style in which they wrote. We looked at the pattern for the sonnets, for example, and the students were challenged to choose a topic, any topic that they liked, and to create their own poetry. Of course, it was difficult for them, but it was a lot of fun because they could choose a topic that interested them or something fun. So if we use gamification, we turn the lesson into a game. So instead of giving the homework the title homework, we say something like, let's play a game. The students will look at it. For example, a treasure hunt. Instead of having a normal grammar exercise, let's turn all the right answers into a treasure hunt. Each right answer bringing the students closer to the treasure. And instead of just saying, yes, well done at the end of the exercise, they will be a lot happier if we offer them the virtual treasure. Another interesting thing that I found I could do with stories was to use coding for writing stories. We found an app which allows students to write and animate their own the stories that they write. They can use captions. They can um, make their stories in the format of a book, which turns pages. Um, the animations make characters move, so they are free to do a lot of things with their stories. So they aren't just writing a text, they are creating and they are using technology at the same time. So for them, the whole writing process became a lot more interesting. As teachers, we always need to have confidence confidence in our abilities and to give our students confidence. Um, we need to um, motivate our students to become, to always keep learning, to know that this is their goal to succeed in life. And it may take a lot of encouragement sometimes because not all students uh, come to school with the right mindset. Maybe they have a personal problem that they have to deal with. So their mind isn't exactly in the right place. That's why we need to encourage them. That's why, as I said before, we need to listen with our hearts, not only with our ears, and try to motivate them. Uh, and I could give you the example of a student who was in a class where the teacher always pointed out their mistakes, and this influenced him even in this particular student in his personal life. So, because he was so used to being criticized, he started getting poor results, even in things not related to school, for example, sports competitions. But as soon as another teacher came, we encouraged all of them, no matter how strong or weak they were. The that student I was telling you about completely changed, and his results improved because he was motivated, because he knew that he could do better no matter what his results were. In that moment, and if he worked hard, he could have better results because the teacher pointed out the good things that he did during classes. So this is what we need to do. We need to be empathic. We need to teach our students how to be empathic, how to be um, and how to support each other in the learning process. If we show empathy by acknowledging their strengths, their weaknesses, and encourage them, we need to encourage them at every single step of their way, and even in their personal and academic life. We need to um, be able to turn our students into um, the people who will also learn after they finish school, to instill in them a love of learning. Um, and we also need so we also need to be patient. We need a lot of patience, especially when the students do not have the rhythm that we would like them to do. When managing our classrooms, we may find a lot of examples that challenge us, but we need to be patient, we need to stay calm, we need to be professional, and we need to remember that students learn at different rates, and they have their own challenges. We are there to give them a helping hand, to help them climb the mountain in order to reach the top. They cannot do this alone, but they can do this with our help and with the help of their peers. And this is what we need to do, because every classroom is a small community. And if we have a close-knit community, they have a lot more chances of achieving success. And the last thing I want to emphasize is the enthusiasm that the teacher should have, because showing enthusiasm for our work, for the subject we teach, inspires our students. An enthusiastic teacher makes the learning process fun and engaging. We can show enthusiasm by bringing our favorite things into the teaching process, by introducing new perspective and making the lessons way, make them realize the importance of the things we are teaching, and make them love that thing. Turn everything into something interesting, fun, engaging, that keep them interested, that won't make them bored. And
Definitely.
yes, and 3, maybe challenge them. Always challenge them. Always bring something new to the lessons.
Definitely.
Make them wait for the lesson. Be eager for the next lesson. Let's see what the teacher will prepare for next time. Will
Wonderful.
it be a song? Will it be a film? What will it be? Make them expect the next lesson.
Wonderful. Okay, this is a non-academic question, not related to studies, not related to academic. What are the 3 basic skills that a teacher must have to create a wonderful happiness culture in the class?
Okay, so probably first of all, to promote empathy, tolerance, equality, so all students are equal. We should treat all students the same. Of course, in every class there is um, the smartest kid, slowest kid. So we must find ways to make all the students feel that they are part of the learning process. Okay,
Yes,
that kid in the last row,
definitely.
somewhere in the back of the class. Yes, let's find that special skill that he has. Okay, so maybe that student can draw. Maybe that student can, I don't know, any skills that that student might have should be encouraged. Okay, you did something good. Well done. This is wonderful.
Yes.
And in this way, we are creating a closely knit group, a community, a small community. So promoting tolerance, promoting equality, giving them all the chance to contribute to the lesson, to do their part, to feel like they are important, not they are never forgotten. We are not teaching. We are not just giving knowledge to the best students in the class. We are giving knowledge to all the students in the class, and to so yes, to make them feel special, to give them a chance to bring their contribution.
Definitely. Wonderful. Hats off to you, ma'am. Thank you so much for highlighting these
Thank you.
issues on academic part. And it was a privilege and an honor to host you on this wonderful platform on the beautiful topic that is their teacher equipping skills. And I would like to call you back another for a short takeaway after all the speakers do your part. So thank you so much, ma'am. Thank you. I would like to take the privilege to call our most loved and most esteemed speaker, that is Dr. Imani Alam, ma'am. Please take the center stage, ma'am.
Hello, my dear sister. Hello.
Good evening. Good evening.
Good evening. Am I audible?
Yes.
Okay. So let's go. First of all, I need to thank to all respected speakers before me. They added a lot to my knowledge. I am very lucky to hear from your side. And now I need to try to deliver some of my ideas. First of all, I wanted to start by this word. However, it's Indian, but I was affected too much by this word. I'm trying to pronounce it in a good manner. It's a shekshak. Shekshak is an educator. Before Prof. Dr. Rajput informing me the real meaning of the word shekshak, I thought it means giveness. I thought shekshak people are givers, but it means educator. However, educators are givers. So let's start from Dr. Sarvepalli. Dr. Sarvepalli preferred to celebrate the International Educational or International Teacher Day instead of celebrating his personal birth. So by these two words and by these two items, you can know the degree of appreciation of educator. So if you are receiving appreciation, it means that you have a heavy responsibility. All people are appreciating and respecting you because you are doing great things. As a result, you are carrying a very, very, very heavy responsibility. So the art of teaching is one that can't be taught, but one to be learned by many things like holistic learning. Teaching skills are very, very important. There is no formula or there is no equation will guide us to be a good teacher. It's a blend of a lot of things, many, many, many things, and multiple factors. Some come with our experiences, others with observation, others by hard work, and many of them are coming by love and responsibility. We need to respect what we are doing to do it in an excellent performance. If you are not in love to be an educator, please, please leave it to another lover. What, according to you, are the skills that teacher should have? For example, according to myself, I must have love and respect. I must respect my career. I must respect my students. For this reason, I carry this very, very heavy responsibility, and I feel that it's very, 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 very easy, and it's highly affordable. So we need to reach to the level of enjoying happy teaching and also happy learning. I tried to summarize some skills. We must have presentation skills, control and leadership, communication and interpersonal skills and intrapersonal skills, organization and alignment, time management and multitasking, because some of us are having very, very crowded days. We have social responsibilities and we have personal responsibilities, and we have also our educational and teaching responsibilities. So we need to do a balance. Conflict management, creative thinking and innovation management, control and leadership, technological skills. We need to have some teamwork skills, passions, and self-evaluation to be improved. We can't improve anything without evaluating and assessment. Problem solving and also project management. So we have many methods of teaching. We have many strategies of teaching. but we are talking about skills. How can we improve these skills? So I try to focus on some of these skills. As a result, we are talking about responsibility to be practiced. So we have some important practices like active learning, abbreviation of IPL and IEP, inquiry-based learning and inquiry-based education. Very, very important to use active learning and active teaching. Simplification of science is highly required because when we are simplifying the science, it will be available. So when it will be available, so students can innovate. No innovation if you are doing hard curriculum and if you are staying at a very, very high level and no communication skills, so they can't understand you. So simplification of science is the key word of success. Motivation, engagement of students, brainstorming, listening in a wisdom and love. We need to listen to your students. Some of them are writing many lines. So try to read them, try to listen. Psychological support is highly required, especially at the time of crisis. Many of the students are losing their parents, their any member of their family, so they are not good. So they need psychological support. For example, one day, one of my students called me. She said, I will not attend the exam because my dad is dead. I said to her, you can come to my home and you can study well and you can enter your exam because you are at the final day and already your dad is dead, but you need to continue. So he will be happy after your success. So I try to support her. So we need to do all these things, not theoretically. We need to practice these things. Being very clever in transmitting your ideas in a very simple way and very simple short time, in a very simple way and very short time. Smile, however, of your pains. Sorry. So we need to smile, however, of our pains. If you are struggling with life, but it's not the student's mistake. So we need to be good with them, however we have. We need to separate our personal and social problems from their life. Students must be not affected badly by anything related to us. Be practical, not being theoretical. Everything is fixed by practice. For example, when we are talking with them about democracy, we need to practice it inside our lectures. When I am saying we must be democratic people, so I need to listen to them. I need to listen to their refusal phrases as like as acceptance words, because we need them to see the result of our words, not only words and not only talk, not only being talkative. We need to be polite, we need to be blah, 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 blah. And on land, nothing. No. If we are talking about democracy, we need to listen to them. But we need to inform them that they must respect. As a teacher, I am respecting you. So you must respect. But you can say what you want in a very, very polite manner. So I'll appreciate. Sometimes I am asking them, do you want me to revise the previous lecture or to enter in the next one? I'm trying to engage them in all decisions. However, I have my own decisions, but I need to make them very active, not inert people. Appreciation of listening. When I am talking with them about we need to learn how to appreciate others. I'm asking some of them to explain the lecture, to be engaged at all. I am telling all others, please listen to her, because I am teaching to girls. Please listen to her. Deal with her as like as dealing with me. So we need to appreciate the knowledge. We need to appreciate information. We need to appreciate anyone if this one gave us our attention. So we need to give the same person higher, not the same level of attention. As I said before, love is located between two important words, learning and education. So no value of anything without learning and education. Regarding how to improve our teaching skills, good teachers are continually improving their skills daily by daily. We need to improve ourselves. We need to work on ourselves every day. We need to learn and to be improved. We need to learn many new things every day. Every day, we need to attend training programs. We need to be better. We need to transform it to be better. We need to be the best copy of ourselves. So first of all, we need to recognize our strengths, because if I know my strong point, I'll work on improving it. It will be very easy because already it's strong. Secondly, I need to create a list of teacher skills needed to be one of the best. How can I improve? I need to do a measurements of development. So I achieved 1, I achieved 2, I achieved 3, I need to do what? And so on. What about teaching skills in the workplace? We need to improve our skills in the workplace by using smart goals. It's very important to use smart goals. We need to continue working on our skills. We need to practice what is the teaching skills in our daily life. As I said before, practice is very important. After practicing what is already known, I'll be at the area of being creative. So I need what is the ideal, then I'll improve myself to be creative. Attending in other teachers' classrooms or lectures. I'm in love with these points. I am trying to attend lectures of other colleagues. I'm very happy to hear from their sides. Some of them are better than me because of experience. So I need to saw what they are doing inside lectures to improve myself. To monitor myself. We need to highlight our teaching skills. What about digitalization? What about online tools? I think COVID-19 gave us a great lesson. We can't forget it. We can't forget it. On World Teachers Day, the European Commission launched an online tool to help teachers to be better and to review themselves and to get feedback. They are using these digital tools and these technologies in different areas. We have different areas. We can include digital technologies and digital tools in it. We can include it in teaching and learning, in finding, using, creating digital sources. We need to do our digital curricula. We need to read more and more and more, and to have our own curricula. This curricula is a result of great reading, not only good or great reading, comprehensive reading. We need also to personalize our learning and engaging our students with hands-on activity learnings, because as you know, online teaching is very hard because of the problem of interaction and so on. So hands-on learning is very important and highly required. We need to do assessment and student feedback. I need to hear from them. Hear in a written manner. Maybe I'm hearing to them via feedback form. I need to know what is good, what is bad to improve myself. But I need also to be honest with myself. Sometimes I am giving them link of feedback form related to the curriculum. Please be honest. Say what is good, what is bad for yourself, because if you are saying everything is good, so nothing will be improved or will be changed. So to have a change, you need to do assessment and you need to do student feedback, then improve. Via feedback, you will know what is good to be highlighted and what is bad to be eliminated. Also, via online tools, we have communication and collaboration with the students and also their families and their colleagues. Because some problems are related to students, maybe they will ask you for any support related to their colleagues. So be supportive, be supportive. I'm saying to myself, I'm not dealing with desks. I am not dealing with bases of woods. I am dealing with human beings, has a heart and has a lung. Human beings. So we must appreciate. We must communicate with them. We must listen to them. We must be, as I said before, solving people to their problems. We must develop our students to have digital skills. I need to say tomorrow, for example, or the next lecture, you have a task. This task is, for example, I'm talking about biotechnology. You need to search on certain topics in biotechnology and so on. So we need to improve and develop their digital skills. Not only trying to explain our ideas and so on. It's not improved via one side. It's two sides. Teacher and the student. The teacher then receives automated report with their results from beginner to innovator. It's very important to appreciate all the students. Your responsibility not only on innovators, but my responsibility is extended to also beginners. My responsibility is to raise the level of all the students, not only the students at the excellent level. No. My responsibility is on all students equally. However, I need to encourage innovator. I need to encourage them. But I am encouraging innovator to raise the level of beginners, not to hurt any students. We must be fair. I'm saying to them, for example, if my daughter will be with you, I'll not discriminate. It will be as any one of you. So no difference between any one of your students. You must make them equal. We need to have some suggestions on how to make their level up. How can I make students at the beginner level how can I make their level being upgrading? Maybe we need to do some motivation. We need to do encouragement. As I said before, we need to do successive awarding to inform them that life is not easy and is not hard. So if you are working, if you are hard worker, you will be at this level. So there is a fruit. We need to inform them that everything has a fruit. So you have a seed. What is the seed? You have your work. If you are doing this work in a very good and in a very good manner, and you are very clever in studying your lessons and so on, you will have something which will be the fruit. What is the fruit? Maybe award, maybe degrees, maybe transferring to the next level, and so on. So we need to encourage them that life is not easy and is not hard. Using the tool can be a good first step to identify what is the strengths and what is the weakness related to the professional development, and support is needed. What is the needed support? All teachers completed their self-reflection can receive a certificate and a digital badge for taking part. This is about the strategy related to the school. In the area of using online tools, we need to evaluate teachers and educators, and we can give them some certificates that they are good teachers and so on. We are talking about performance. What about Egypt? The transformation is required in Egyptian education. This transformation is this transformation in Egyptian educational process involves improving the learning experiences and the outcome of schooling, so that educating youth can be as a thing like creation of productive citizens. So we need to increase the number of educated youth, but we need to do some shifts in the curricula. We are going to reduce the huge amount of curricula. We need to go up to go towards small amount of curricula, but containing innovative ideas, using online tools, and also we need to focus on CBD. We need to focus on comprehensive program of developments or comprehensive developmental programs. We need to focus on our policy and our agenda related to the UN agenda of 2030. We need also to focus on sustainable development goals. Really, I love and appreciate SDGs because it's all needed things for the humanity. I think these 17 goals are talking about humanity. How can we improve humanity life? How can we improve the quality of life of human beings at all aspects of life? And nothing, as I said before, will be done without education. So to summarize, we need to have educators. We are not a need to teachers as being educators. We need to have educators. We need to have leaders, because leaders are creating leaders. But being a teacher is very good. But being a leader is more than excellent. We need to have listening skills. presentation skills. We need to respect what we are doing. We need to respect our students. We need to motivate them. We need to love them. As I said before, nothing will be done without love. So if you are principal and you have anyone with very, very high qualifications, and this person is saying, I don't like teaching, or previously, I am not in love to teach. However, of huge qualifications. So please refuse, because we must be in love with education. So if you don't love to be educator, please don't be. If you are in love with education, please try to do your best to be a better educators. And thanks a lot to Dr. Sarvaballi. I'm thanking her soul because he highlighted the importance of educator. However, he has another choice to be dedicated at the day of his birthday, but he chose the educator. It means that educators are very important people. So appreciation to all educators, appreciation to all educators those are working on themselves to be better. We are not angels. We are not angels. We are human beings. So we have our mistakes and we have our good things. So we need to work on ourselves to be better, because we are messengers. We are carrying a message. So we need to respect and appreciate our message. Appreciation to all you, my colleagues. Appreciation to IDYM because they give us the chance to share knowledge and also to gain knowledge. Because if we can't hear, we can't talk. Thanks a lot. And I need to focus that Shiksha equal educators. So salute to all educators.
Thank you. Thank you so much, ma'am. Thank you. I
welcome.
think here I would like to share with everyone over here. We have a real example of teacher equipping skills and transformation in Ilham ma'am on her own, because the way she started the session with the word Sikshak, that shows that she has equipped the skill of using Indian nationality, starting the session with the word Sikshak. Hats off to you, ma'am. Thank you so much. And that has shown the transformation in you as a life example for everyone. Pick up the skills, implement them, use them, no matter whether you are failure or whether you are successful. Unless and until you pick up, you will not learn. And the way you have shared about love and education, I would like to cover the two words in between. That is the learning of valuable education. Love is also there, education is also there. So let us all pick up the skill of learning of valuable education, as said by Iman ma'am. Wonderful and privileged to have you here, ma'am, on this beautiful platform and highlighting all the issues of what has to be needed. Do everything with your heart and soul. Do everything with total immersing yourself into what you want to do, what you love to do. And that she has shown by way of her participation behind the screen, on the screen, with the speaker skills, and gratitude to you, ma'am. Thank you so much, ma'am. So I would like to take the privilege to have the next speaker, that is Geeta ma'am. Are you there, ma'am?
Yeah, I am available here, ma'am.
Good evening, ma'am.
Very good evening.
Most welcome.
Very
Yeah,
good
most
evening.
welcome. And I would like to introduce you, ma'am, with just a few of your. I think she has a 22 years of experience in teaching and 3 years of maths subject expert. Maths is my very fearful subject, ma'am. MSc, MPhil, BEd, excellent verbal and written communication skills, strong analytical approach towards critical issues and problem-solving skills, good team player, and a sincere hard worker. These words highlight the excellent teacher equipping skills. And I would like to hear from you. What is your first paragraph on this? Let us listen from you, ma'am. Let us. Pleasure to have you.
Yeah, thank you, ma'am. First of all, I thank our IDYM group for giving me this wonderful platform to just express my views on this various topic. Okay. Especially in this pandemic situation, I can assure that all the teachers have raised to their occasion to educate during the pandemic time to all our students. Okay, we just taught in the school directly, but during the pandemic time, we equipped ourselves, putting the Zoom meeting, conducting classes, making them to sit in front of the computer, mobiles, and engaging them during in that situation also. We don't want them to have a break in those times, like education is not at all there. We made it a point, we reached their doorsteps. That is a main equipment of our strong thing, that each and every teacher is a good learner. That is what proved in that situation, where whatever might be the age of the teacher, every teacher raised to that occasion of teaching the child. Each and every child should not be left out in any education, without any education in that situation. Next. In that, even our government took various steps. Not only in the cities the education is reached, because we have all the scholastic and all developed equipments, net, internet, everything, laptops, mobile, which are all accessible for the city people. But the government took initiative to reach even the extended village people, with like just introducing the concept through radios, channels, speaking, and getting into the knowledge of their availability. Next, the teachers, when we enter the class, already the students have judged us. They knew that, oh, this teacher, yes, I should listen her. She will say so many good things to me. Not only the subject, we have to be with them personally, with their family. We should know their family background, because now teaching is like walking on a sword.
Excellent.
Yes, if we just miss out, we should not just harass them in any way, not even by words. Those are the days have gone, where leave the two eyes, you can do anything with my child. Our parents used to say that. But nowadays, each and every parent is having only one child, single child, and the family background, single parent. In this pandemic situation, so many students lost their parents. One lost their mother, father, so many things. We have to understand the child now. That is what very, very important now. Before scolding a child, from what background, what family situation he is coming to school, that plays a very, very vital role. Then, different type of learners, different backgrounds, different family ethics. We should all balance everything. The eyes speaks about the child. The teacher should have a very good eye contact with the child. We have seen students, in my experience, when they see itself, sometimes they will cry. It says that he needs some support from us. He wants to share something with us. So all these are also the techniques of the teacher to make her subject to go in depth. And moreover, I'm basically a maths teacher. You know, of all the subjects, maths is very important, and also maths is very difficult for most of them. Okay, so being a maths teacher, first of all, they should like the teacher. When they like the teacher only, they will like the subject. This is a proven fact. And we should go into their world. We have to be updated, not outdated. What the words they say, if they criticize with some words also, we should be able to understand that, yes, these are the words they are using now. We cannot be outdated. So we have to go into their own world and get equipped for them. And technologies. Now the flipped classroom plays a major role. definitely I can say that even pandemic time, we sat in front of computers and we taught them. But it's not equal to how they are coming to our offline classes. We have seen after 2 years, the children struggle to sit in the table and chair for continuous 1 hour. Because online mode, they switched off the video. Happily, they were lying on the sofas and things. Yes,
Totally agree.
yeah, yes, I'm saying.
I have experienced, ma'am. I have experienced this. I can say.
Yes. So it's very difficult. First 6 months, we really struggled to make them to sit in our class. Then comes the listening. That is second part. Making them to sit because they wandered in their homes as they liked. They took the phones and walked and showed us all the rooms, all the things in their houses. And whole family sat in front of us and listened our whatever, however we are teaching.
Totally.
Yes, it happened. We never thought we will teach like this. And being a maths teacher, I have to read all the so many techniques, how to take practical geometry online. Construction of a geometry online. So I should learn first. I
How can
learned
we
the
do?
construction tool. Then only I showed him how to do the construction. And I have to be in his world. I developed the quizzes in the like playing a game. If you achieve this, you will get a medal. Like that, the game goes. The concepts were inculcated like that. I will put a link for them. Come on, you have to play this. Doing sums, playing that. Like that only they learned in those times. Teaching job now, it's becoming more effective, difficult in all the ways. And being a teacher, a very tough master now. Handling them, see, and now the NEP, we have following now the very important aspect, like they have brought a very good concept like interrelating the multidisciplinary aspect. One topic, how it should be, is inculcated in various subjects. Is very welcomed aspect of NEP, where each and every subject, one concept if we take, if especially maths, how it's, we can say that now I'm able to say to the children, come on, maths is in geography, maths is in history. Galaxy, how the distance between the galaxy, without numbers, how can you do it? Cells, how can you count the cells without maths? The language, how 3 languages, multilinguistics we have to be. Astronomy, physics, chemistry, where is without maths? Physics is a branch of, without maths we cannot do physics. Speed, you are driving a car. Without speed, where you will go? All the calculations are with maths. So the interdisciplinary aspect and holistic development of NEP plays a very major vital role, where now they don't read maths like an abstract. Now they knew that where it is, how it is applied. So I feel the main aspect of a teacher is first understand the child, especially in this situation. Next, teach the child what he needs. I always say, if a child fails, you are not a failure, I am a failure. Because I don't know to teach how you can understand. That's what the aspect is. So, all the students cannot understand everything. But it's not that we can exemplary make them to get at least pass mark in that subject, because no other go, we have to finish the portions, we have to make them to get a good mark. We are answerable for both the management, for the student, for ourselves first, then to the parents. And parents also Nowadays, they are somehow trying to understand both from the school point, from the teacher point also. All educated parents, they are much okay with it. But we have to educate the parents also as they come and meet us. During the parents open meet, it's a very big task to handle them. So to just consolidate it, first understand the child, understand the situation. Because the speakers whoever spoke before me have covered all the aspects, whatever has to be mentioned in the technology. Now, when the child, when there is board only, when there is we used in Tamil, we used to say, "Suvar irundhadan chitra varaya mudiyum." The child comes to us only. We can educate the child. They are our customers. They are our future. So we have to develop them as an all-rounder. Thank you for giving this opportunity.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you so much. And I think so beautifully, each one of you have highlighted different aspects, and you have actually brought the real life situation, because I have seen that I am a parent also, I am an educator also, and I have seen during my son's online classes also what is happening, how the teachers are doing. So a lot is hidden behind the camera, which parents only know, and a lot is hidden from the teachers' eye also, which is hidden from the parents. So if you turn the lens from both the sides, two aspects of the teaching learning systems are hidden, which need to be highlighted and which have to be really well equipped for next pandemic if there is any uncertainty ahead. So we were not prepared for this, and you highlighted how the government totally zoomed up into action and providing laptops and other ways of education, and the teachers also really very well adapted, because I think we all are learners and educators from those age where technology was not there. So without technology, we have adapted to this age of learning. We're connecting all the educators across the globe, learning from each one of them, implementation techniques, strategies. For each child is unique and each child is different. And the way you have said, connection and understanding is really the need of the heart. We are always blaming the teacher. We are always blaming the parent. We don't see from from the perspective of the child. What is the child going through? So you have highlighted those core highlight points, and the way you have said the real life picture, जैसे हम कहते हैं, जो असली picture जो है वो आपने दिखा दी है, the real life, and this is actually happening. We have to start building strategies. NEP policy there or not there, teachers have to take the NEP in hand, take action, start implementing the techniques with all of you. The way you have beautifully said each one of aspect. So before I take a leave, I would like all the speakers to be on the stage over here for one short action skills that need to be implemented to develop 21st century skills. I would like to start from Rachna ma'am. Rachna ma'am, are you there? Is Rachna ma'am there? Okay, I'll start from you, ma'am. Geeta ma'am, what are the two core important skills which is lacking and which need to be implemented now? A message to the educators.
To the educators, first, as I said, the numerical skills and the linguistic skills. Okay, there were now 2 years gap is there. Whichever the standard might be, the child might be. So now the child is 7th standard, means definitely he lagged 5th and 6th standard concepts. Okay, we have to bridge that gap. That numerical skill aspect, that is what the world for him in future. Without the basic understanding. Okay, the spatial, even now the students are, they don't know where this object will fix in this place. The spatial context is missing for them. Practical experience. Now having a single child at home might be maximum of 2 child at home. That's it. That's the only world with them. Father, mother, and the 2 kids. That's all. They know everything is spoon-fed for them. But school is a place where we are in a situation to make them to do it. That is what very first thing I feel.
Wonderful.
Number
And that is the need of the hour now. That is the need of the hour, much
yes,
needed now.
yes, much
Only
needed.
then we can start the implementation of the 21st century skills from this basic skill. If this is absent, nothing can be developed.
Nothing can be done. This is
So
very
yeah,
important.
very
Okay,
important. Thank you so
and
much, ma'am. Thank you.
thank you so much.
Yeah. And I would like to call Iman, ma'am. Are you there? One short, two skills that is missing and that need to be implemented now.
Yes, my dear sister, I am here. Talking about skills is very important, but how can you practice on yourself to improve these skills is also very, very important. Being an educator means that you are carrying a message. So we need to respect and appreciate this message. We need to work on ourselves daily. We need to be digital educators and online people. We need to have excellent communication and listening and presentation skills with our students. We need to be clever educators. We need to be ourselves,
That is
but
wonderful.
the best copy of ourselves. Thank you.
That is the most important thing. Just be what you are. Don't try to wear masks. Don't try to portray what you're not. Be what you are. Even if you have your imperfections, convert the imperfections into perfection and see the transformation happening automatically. That is the biggest learning that we need to develop. Wonderful, ma'am. Wonderful. I would like to call Rachna, ma'am. Are you there? Is Rachna, ma'am, there? No. Laura, ma'am, are you there? I think both of them have left. The last final call for both of the speakers who have left. Anyways, no problem. So today, here on this wonderful topic of teacher equipping skills and transformation, we really did have a wonderful transformational knowledge from each of the eminent speakers present over here with their real life experiences, real life implementation techniques, and the way they spoke about what is missing and what needs to be adapted. And that is the need of the heart, the listening skills, the understanding skills, the implementation techniques from each one of you. It was a wisdom learning from all of you. So thank you to all of you for being here. Thank you to IDYM team. Thank you to the technical team over here for their wonderful presentation of creatives and flyers and certificates. And the most important is that is learning and teaching knowledge that we are imparting from each other, gaining from each other. So hats off to all of you. I take my heartfelt gratitude to all of you for being here, present over here on this platform of IDYM, teacher equipping skills and transformation. Let that transformation happen automatically. Let us be ourselves first and let us love what we love doing the most. Thank you so much, everyone. Thank you. Good
Thank
night.
you.
Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, my dear sister. Thank you.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Thank you.
Thank you.